Okay, here in week 5, we're going to be adding in our flat pieces, okay, our roof and our floors that we haven't already done. And the instructions are there in Blackboard, so all the settings you need to make, and the roofs are pretty straightforward. The one issue with our roof here is we changed the slope. The main roof is a 612 slope. This portion here we're making it a 512 slope. Because if you remember, we had this really weird intersection right here at the top, and that would be very difficult to build. Okay, in real life, we would have probably shortened the length of these walls here by a foot or two, uh, so that it wouldn't be so weird to build. But in our case, we're just going to drop the slope. It's kind of unusual to do that. It's not unheard of, but it's kind of unusual. And what happens is right here is this is no longer a 45-degree angle, the valley. So if we're having to cut framing material to complete this part of the roof, it makes our cuts here out of the ordinary and unusual. But it gets rid of that really weird intersection right here at the top. Okay, so your roof is pretty straightforward. Okay, now we haven't covered the chimney. We're going to cover that, in the next week or two, but it's here in my model. Um, the floor system, uh, we've we've put it in, and if you notice, there's still an inch and a half gap between the foundation wall and our floor system. Okay, because we've got that sill, the sill plate that's still got to go in there. Uh, the front porch, and we've made it. And I really didn't give you dimensions on the posts and things or instructions. So let's just look at those real quick. Like I put the footings at 24 by 12, okay, on level 2 with an offset of 6'6". Okay, so that'll be pretty straightforward for you to do those two. And then the uh, the 4 by 4 columns. Let's see, I did those same thing on level 2 top of footing. I don't know why it says top. I don't know. That's just weird. Okay, as far as the settings over here go, kind of weird. Anyway, so I got the 4 by 4s, and they are offset in there, and this one is an inch and a half in from the edge of the floor, and in here they should be about 3 inches in here to the edge of it. I think mine's a little bit more than that. Let me go to that um, plan. Okay, and because we're dealing with things, we're dimensioning to the center of them all. So the 8'10" and the 9' and 3/8 is a good dimension for center of footings and center of columns. The 4 3/4 back, we'll just go with that. That'll be all right. Okay. Um, so you can put those things in, and then uh, build this floor system. Okay, the top of it is going to be level with level 1. Okay, and let's see, ceilings. Okay, so now in this version of my plan, I still have this fireplace wall in here, and we're going to add that in next week as we're dealing with our fireplace situation because it's kind of weird, and I'll cover that next week. We've got the wall here for the stairway, and what will happen is we're going to have to add you're going to have to add a piece of a wall here in order to build your ceiling up against it. And let me turn off the underlay on this. That looks a little confusing to you, I know. Where are we at? Uh, well, oh, because I clicked on the section. That's why it's not showing up. Um, okay. Um, so you've you've got your stairwell wall here, your three U-shaped walls. You're gonna have to add a piece across here, and I made it. Let's see. It's on my basement slab level, but the bottom of it is at 7 feet above the floor, and I made it 1 foot tall unconnected. Okay. Now we go to our section view here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's this little piece right here. Okay. And as we're going to see next week when we start dealing with our stairs, is we're going to have to play with this opening to get the exterior, the side of the stud or core lined up with our floor opening, lined up with this header wall here, and then the same thing over here. Okay. So the wood framing needs to be flush on all of the inside parts of the stairs, and we'll have to do that on all four walls, and we'll get into that next week as we're dealing with stairs. But you'll add this piece of your in so that your acoustical ceiling can butt against that. Let's go back to here so you can see that. And as you're picking these things, you're gonna have to pick your faces of the wall because this is an acoustical tile ceiling, and if you look at it at work or here at school or something, you'll see that it attaches to the face of the wall. So that's what you're picking here is the wall faces. Okay. Um, and so, yeah, okay. Uh, it's acoustical tile ceiling, no big deal. Okay. And let's look at my level 1 ceiling plan. And with this, come on here. Okay, so I picked multiple ones. So let me go over here. And go to a section so I can pick it easier. Makes it tough when you can't hit the edge of it. Come on. Okay, so as you can see here, the gypsum ceiling does not go, through the walls. Okay, the wall goes all the way up and the trusses sit on top of the walls. The gypsum ceiling is contained within each room. So let me select that one and go back to my uh, ceiling plan here. Okay, and so it's unfortunate, but you have to do these things, one room at a time. Okay, it's just the way it is. And in our model so far, we didn't put in the walls for the fireplace. We're gonna really delve into that next week as we're start dealing with components. Um, I gotta edit that one. Okay. Um, so do the best you can with that. If you got run into any issues or problems, shoot me an email. Come by and see me in the lab. And like I said, we will delve into this whole fireplace issue next week to get you up to speed with that.